Dearest gentle reader, Bridgerton season 3 is out. It's been out for a while. So part 1 came out in May, and then part 2 came out in June 13th. Bridgerton. A summary of how I felt about season 3 was that this season was far from being the object of my desires and the bane of my existence. I did not like season 3 very much. I had so many grievances with the season. So the first thing I hated was the lack of yearning. I'm sorry. For 2 seasons, season 1 and season 2, we've seen Penelope yearn for Colin. We've seen her looking outside her window, trying to catch a glimpse of Colin's hair and his body and everything. We've seen Penelope yearn for him. And then we get to season 3, which is meant to be her love story between herself and Colin, and we barely see any yearning from Colin. Like, okay, what? They kiss, and then Colin starts fantasizing about her Ariana Grande. In the previous seasons, we had seen the yearning, we had seen the, sneaky glances, we had seen the push and pull between both characters, we had seen both the male and female counterparts yearning for each other and, wanting to be in each other's vicinity. And we had the almost hand touching in season 1 and the heavy breathing in season 2 between Kate and Anthony. And then this season, what do we get? No yearning. And I found it very frustrating simply because we had seen yearning from Penelope's part but not from Colin. And why dramas and movies that are so like Bridgerton work is because of the yearning, specifically from the guy. Because that's what makes that's what enhances the experience, is the yearning from the guy. It's the yearning from the guy, and we get the, oh my god, when she's not here I can't breathe. But we didn't get that with Colin, and I did not like that. I understand that the reason they did it in parts, they did this season in parts, was to have part A being about finding oneself and one's journey to self-love, and then part B being Colin and Penelope's journey to loving each other and their romantic relationship in general and journey. I understand that, but the plan was there, but the execution was utter nonsense. Because we see growth for Penelope, but we don't see growth for Colin. We see Penelope, try to kind of shed the image that the town has imposed onto her of being, this quiet war butterfly, people pleasing, doesn't say much and doesn't stand up for herself. We see her try to shed that image and try to be confident, because we see her true personality comes out there, because Penelope is a fierce young woman. She is all of that, but the tone forces her to be subservient and just very quiet and not being able to stand up for herself. So we see her become her as the season progresses. But what do we know about Colin? Seriously, as a viewer of Bridgerton, tell me one thing you know about Colin. One thing. What do you know about Colin? Nothing, because the show doesn't show us anything about Colin. Season 3, that it's meant to be his season, I don't know anything about this man. I know about Penelope, and I know more about Penelope, but I don't know anything about Colin, because the season doesn't show us that. No, we just didn't get a lot of interaction, and when we did, it just felt so empty. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I don't know if it's just me, because I've also seen people have this the grievance that there wasn't a lot of scenes between Colin and Penelope, and when they were, I was like, this is okay. Like, I am not feeling anything. I am not feeling the butterflies. I'm not giggling. You guys are not doing anything for me, which is so sad because, like I said, it ties in with the lack of scenes between them, the lack of, like, understanding of the characters, specifically Colin. I feel like, the Bridgerton series, the character we got to know a lot about was in season 2. Like, I got to know Anthony. Apart from being an annoying elder brother, I got to know Anthony as a person. We got to see bits and pieces of Daphne as a character, and Simon as a character, and Kate as a character. But for this season, we don't get to see that because for some weird reason, the showrunners start to have so many side stories that no one gives a fuck about. I said it. Like, oh yeah, I feel so bad for Cressida, but I don't want to see Cressida on my screen every 5 minutes because no, I came here for Penelope and Colin. And the thing is, Bridgerton has always had side stories. It would be boring if it was just simply Simon and Daphne. Why do I know more about Francesca and her love story with John and, I don't know, have her finding herself in society than I know about Colin? And then we also have Kate and Anthony. Very cute. Like, I am so sorry. Whenever they were on my screen, I was like, yes. We have Kate and Anthony. We have Cressida. We have Benedict. Who else do we have? We have Violet and Amber's brother. We have, what's the boxer guy? And his family. And, like, we have all of this. So many unnecessary scenes. If they were going to do all of this, they should have had more than 8 episodes because it felt so rushed. Which leads me to my third problem. The lack of flashbacks. What the actual hell? What the heck? Because there was absolutely no flashback in this season. And this season needed flashbacks because we're going from one relationship to another. Which is we're going from friendship to lovers, which are 2 different relationships. It's a different kind of love. If you're having them go from friends to lovers, and they've been friends for like a decade and something, they've been friends for a very long time, and to have that transition, to make that transition so seamless, flashbacks needed to be there. Because when Colin was speaking to his brothers after he told his family that he was engaged to Penelope, and they were like, where did all of this come from? He said something along the lines of, I am paraphrasing here, but he said that he thinks he's always had feelings for her, but he kept them hidden and pushed them aside and just paid no attention to them. Which is fair because he saw her as my sister's friend. That's my little sister's best friend. So I can see why someone would go, yeah, let's not act on these feelings. Let's push them down. But if you're going to bring that up, there should be a flashback and a series of flashbacks or like montages that we see so many. That we see Colin as a child, looking at Penelope in a different light and then snapping out of it. It's you telling me and I'm not seeing it because then I'm not believing it. They kiss at the end of episode 2? And then suddenly you're like, oh, feelings. And then the intimacy scenes, oh my god. Oh, I had a problem with them. Oh, I had a massive problem with them. I, as a viewer, no offense, I know the girls were gripped and gagged for the courage scene, but I wasn't. I was not. I was looking at this and then going, like, I'm happy for y'all. I'm happy, but this is not romantic. Seriously, you want to tell me that after you tell her your feelings, the next thing you're DJing her kitty cat in the moving carriage and you want me to eat it up? Hell nah. Hell no. No, I'm not doing that. I am not doing that. Apart from how this scene was unromantic in so many aspects. Maybe it's just me, because everyone else was like, oh my god, but I was just like, this is not cute. Because surely we know that back in the 1800s, the roads were sure as hell not smooth. So you're trying to tell me that whilst the horse is going higher, 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 and the carriage is, shaking, Colin goes, I think I might just DJ your kitty cat. Like, what? I feel like the way they could have made this so romantic, suggestion from me, like, seriously, this is how they could have made it romantic. So, rather than having a carriage scene where he tells Penelope that he has feelings for her, and then he proposes, I think they should have made the carriage scene on the night of their honeymoon. What they could have done was, like, have the carriage scene, have them make up, and then in the carriage together ride into their place, but they're so in love with each other that they want every nook and cranny, every hair ignited with each other's body. They want that passion. They can feel the passion. Now they just want to be in each other's vicinity. They don't want to let each other go. So then we have the carriage scene, because then that makes it exciting and romantic. Nothing is romantic about wanting to confess your love to her and then you're DJing and wicking her kitty cat. Like, I'm sorry. Also, isn't this against society rules? Because in season 1, Colin and Anthony had to duel because Anthony walked in on Simon. I said Colin, oh my god. Anthony walked in on Simon kissing his sister in the most frantic and malnourished way. That's why the duel had to happen, right? So doesn't have market value significantly reduced since he did all of that in the carriage? No? And then the mirror scene. I am happy for you guys for getting your freak on. Yay. Is somebody gonna match their freak? I'm happy for you guys, but we couldn't have done this after the wedding. Like, I was watching, it was so sudden as well. No offense. There's obviously no build up to the mirror. Like, I was like watching this and I was like, am I seriously, like, I was, no one, so, now the thing is, yeah, the intimate scenes and shows like this will always be uncomfortable, You're always gonna watch them and go, oh my god, my eyes has like covering my eyes, but they're still gonna make you feel giggly and have butterflies in your stomach. Like, season 1, do you know how many times I watched season 1? Because when they were together, I felt so much butterflies in my stomach. I feel like they could have done the loving every part of your body scene in a different way, that it didn't have to be sexual, and then after they get married, then you make it sexual, and now to be a callback to, rather than them going full-blown into intercourse, it could literally just be kissing her. You guys, I don't even like romance like that in real life, and look at me writing this shit. So, was it just me? I thought they were naked. Like, they were naked. I could see her I could see her bosom, I could see her belly, I could see the fold between the belly and the thighs. I was like, there's no way in heaven you guys will tell me right now you're actually not having sexual intercourse, because I believe you are. You guys are as naked as it gets. Richard was happy. I'm happy for her. I love to see curvy women on my screen being objects of desire and their body not hidden away. I love that. I was like, yes. Oh my god, yes. But at the same time, it felt too rushed. I don't know. It also felt out of place, because it'll be one scene we're talking, the next minute is like moans, and I'm like, okay, I am happy for you, but this is incongruent. There's no coherency between the scenes. Have you seen Luke and and Nicola during the press runs. The chemistry is out of this world, done and dusted. The chemistry is there. The chemistry is saying, "Hi, girl. What you want, girl?" That's what the chemistry is saying. But it wasn't translating. When I was watching Bridgerton, I was like, where did this chemistry go? Because I am not feeling anything. Like, what? Absolutely nothing. Like, zero butterflies in my belly. I should be having butterflies. This is why I watch shows like this. I watch shows like this to feel kind of awkward during the scenes and also go hee hee giggle. But I was not doing that. Seriously, this season I did not giggle. I was just watching. I was like, this does not sit right with me. But what do I know? I'm just a mere 5'5" beautiful girl. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks, babes. Very much appreciated. Thank you.
Yes, it's a Featheringtons moved in across the street.
For the same reason you prefer your drawing room window and the view it affords out towards the house across the square.